Hello, I am Faust4712, and this is a speed run of Wolverine Adamantium Rage for the Sega Genesis. Right now I'm just going to be messing up and resetting around the 1 minute mark, so I'm going to take this minute to kind of, explain a little bit about what's going on. This game is notoriously difficult and is considered one of the hardest games on the Sega Genesis just because of how awful of a game it is. The reason I say this is because all the controls are sluggish. All the controls can be destroyed and stopped in the middle of your attack by enemies, and Wolverine's healing factor is very nerfed. It takes around an average of 3 to 5 seconds to heal 1 HP. Now you're thinking, oh, that's not that bad, 1 HP, but the thing is that Wolverine can take 5 damage from the smallest things, and anywhere between 5 to 15 damage for normal enemy attacks, and sometimes can even take up to 25 on certain bosses if you let them hit you hard enough. So the run is going to begin, and the first level is a lab area. The premise is that Logan is trying to figure out what happened in his past, so he's going back to the lab where he thinks he was made. Kind of like X-Men 2, if you've ever seen that movie. Alright. So let's let the run begin. Alright, so with the first level, you gotta be careful. These robot guys, they do 5 damage each. And in this level, when we have platforms come down, we have to hit the switch back again in order for it to go up, or else it'll just stay there, which confused a lot of kids back in the day, including myself. I have yet to complete a full run until I was 28 years old. The task for this video is 10 minutes long, but uses an insane amount of save states in comparison. So the fact that this is the first single segment run of this game ever without using any save states or passwords, I'm pretty proud of. Whew. So pretty much in this level, what we got to deal with is the maze of this lab. And then we also have to fight 2 mini bosses, which are like these robot type guard things. And then we got to face off against this huge turret gun, which it's kind of finicky, but isn't too bad once you get it down. And now this is the first single segment run, so this is not my PB. This is the first time I completed the game, which was not too long before I got my PB. So right here we have the first mini boss. Just kind of slash, attack, and dive, and slip, and whatever. Just make sure you get him without taking too much damage. Alright.
Yo, bacon omelet! We had to take a break from Shinobi. Things weren't going right in places where it shouldn't have been a problem. Small mistakes, so we're gonna return to that after doing this stuff.
So I picked up that extra guy right there. You're going to see me pick up 2, 3, maybe 4 extra guys throughout this run. And those are all for safety measures because there are many factors that can kill you in this game, including the fact that his iframes don't last long. So enemies that shoot at you can shoot continuously and it would damage you each time without any iframes. That can be a way to kill you. Or there's just an onslaught of too much going on, which you'll see when we get to the cyber level. Or if you notice that little timer down there with that little red dot leading to like a little image of silhouette of Logan's head, That's the game timer for the level.
Mess that up.
So there's time limits for every single level. And if you don't make it in time, that red dot will go to the middle of his head. And then this little android girl named LCD will come and she'll explode while she's around him, which will instantly take a life, no matter what health you're at. So, say that I'm in the middle of a battle with someone, and the timer's like almost at my head, and then they kill me in the middle of the fight, and then the game starts back up with my new life, the timer doesn't reset. So within 30 seconds of my new life, I lose another life because of LCD and the timer running out. So you just got to be very conscientious of things like that. Here's the second boss. Mini boss, I should say.
Forced hit right
That
here.
right there is a forced hit. For some reason, that robot will always hit you. Even in the Taz, he gets hit by it. So I just think it's just completely unavoidable. There's just no way to avoid that hit. Gotta take it. So I'm going to take a moment to talk about the movements in this game. Wolverine's speed is actually really fast. So there are instances where you'll see me do like this lunge jump. That's going to be pretty much my basic method of moving, other than this spin jump you see. Because the other thing he can do is roll. And in the Taz, he rolls throughout the entire thing. The thing of it is, however, is that in the game, when you roll, the roll doesn't stop until it hits an object. And when he does stop in his roll, you have to initiate another input command before you can do another roll. So you have to like sit him up and then go back down and then do a roll. And it's really hard to pull off, especially in the middle of a bunch of chaos. Unless you're doing Taz's, which you have save states. So you can just save state every single part right before the input is needed and then just keep repeating, which makes it significantly faster. Since we can't do that on the console, we have to improvise. Alright, so here is the last boss of this stage. It is this turret gun. It is extremely cheap, but there is a little trick you can pull off, and it's kind of finicky. But the trick of it is to get kind of right here and jump, and either slash or do a spin dash attack. And eventually we'll get him down.
Ooh! I don't know how he did it.
And then one last final troll boss. They throw this guy at you at the end. I don't know why. Oh, and they throw this little electric fence, which even after you destroy it, if it has red on it, it'll still electrify you. It's the goofiest thing. So that was level 1.
Man. Can't believe we actually did
And
that.
now we're on to level 2. This is the area where we're going to fight Albert, the android. He is an android that looks exactly like Logan, and he is built
And
to
the Taz, the
try
guy jumps
and
right
fight
up
and
top
combat
there and so
Wolverine or Logan. And we're also going to face off against Silver Fox, which is a mutant fox man who is huge and can do a lot of damage. But first we got to go through this snow maze area. Wolverine can also crawl on walls. One thing I did not know as a kid playing this game, but found out as an adult.
Okay.
And another thing about it is that you can spam jump and like claw up the wall. Because you can jump and then do a claw attack and then he'll grab onto the wall. That's how you start climbing. So you can just keep spam jumping and clawing up. But there are certain instances where the area where he can grab kind of disappears where you don't think it should. Like there's a large area where it should not be disappearing, but it does. So you gotta be careful. So this is the helicopter fight. I don't know why it's in the middle of this. I always forget about it because it's just so annoying. Try to avoid the helicopter blades as best as possible. The object is to destroy the pilots. And yeah, not die. So, yay, we did it. So here's the second part where we're going to have to face off against Albert, and I know I'm going to die because I just don't have enough health at all. But usually this is where I take my first death, which is expected, which is why we grab those extra lives. There's just no way around it because Albert's attacks are just so sporadic and random sometimes that you can't help but be like, yeah, I'm just going to take the death.
Messing up my health opportunity. Come on.
I think here I was scared of dying early, even though I should have just taken the death.
We're gonna die to Albert.
Alright, so here we come upon Albert. And the only difference between him and Logan is that he's like brownish, tannish, while Wolverine is like gold and blue. So yep, he got us.
This game is ridiculous. Feel my pain.
And like I said, his movements are sporadic. That's about the only pattern he'll continuously do consistently, which is that like move away and then jump toward you, lunge attack. But other than that, all the other moves he does is just random. Alright, so there goes Albert.
Alright, finally.
So now we're on our way to Silver Fox, where we can annihilate him. He actually does a lot of damage. He's one of the most dangerous bosses in this entire game. He will take away 15 to 25 points of health. Just because sometimes he'll do 2 attacks at once. He'll do one swipe and then he'll do another swipe instantaneously. And then you're getting double hit and you're like, whoa. So I guess I'll take a little bit to talk about the history of this game. Came out in 1994. It was released in United States,
Silver Fox?
PAL region, and I think Brazil. But other than that, I don't think there was a Japanese release.
We made it!
It was also
Alright.
ported to the Super Nintendo. I find this version vastly superior because the music is a lot more gritty. The graphics are slightly better, in my opinion, and the storyline is way more gritty and more realistic to Logan and Wolverine. Whereas in the Super Nintendo one, it's all like goofy, campy stuff, and it's like... But this is a short level. We're going to face Lady Deathstrike right here, and then we're going to face Sabretooth. And that's the other reason why I prefer this over the Super Nintendo, is because the Super Nintendo does not have Sabretooth as a boss fight. And that is just sacrilegious when dealing with Wolverine, especially from the 90s. Wolverine and Sabretooth, that was like the rivalry.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's like, oh, let's make it harder. Make the tree shoot projectiles.
And so the history of this run continued.
Right, because ninjas.
I decided to try and do this for a 12-hour challenge about a year ago. Half a year ago, maybe. 8 months ago, something like that. And it did not go well. I did not finish this game. I was so baffled and enamored and didn't understand why it was so difficult. Well, then I kept progressing through it. I kept trying and trying and trying. And finally,
go fight
we pulled off this. So here's Sabretooth. We just kind of eat his hits because He's actually quite a weak boss. He'll only do like 5 damage while we're doing like 10 to 15.
Hi, buddy. No, they did not. This level is by far the most difficult.
And so once I got the single segment run done, which is this, I started grinding down more, and this one ends at 31:32. My current PB / world record for this game is a 25:48, which I received last night. I unfortunately will not be posting it because I popped off and swore a lot, so we're just going to go with this one. Especially since this is the first single segment, I feel like it's fitting. This level is notorious just for the fact that everything hurts you. Those little red meteorites, they hurt you. Those little ant guys, they hurt you. Those little silver foxes, they'll grab and take a lot of damage away from you. Those big meteorites, they'll hit you. That green little stream coming up, that'll hit you. It'll throw that rock up and kill you like it just did to me. And then those little ant guys will sometimes pull out guns. Or you see how that guy was just jetpacking towards me. There's going to be an area where I have to jump over a gap right at the end. And one will come out and just start pushing you. And there's nothing you can do, because when he's in jet mode and hitting you, you get hit. Does damage. Makes no sense.
Asinine stage right now.
And so you're probably wondering, how did Wolverine end up in this area? Well, I skipped the cutscenes.
I'm trapped.
But the cutscene explains that once you kind of get back into town away from that like snowy area, out of like, because the snowy area is pretty much like the tundra of Canada.
Of course, let's throw some directly up in his area.
So basically, when you're like back into like New Yorkish area, this guy Cyber comes out and he ends up pricking you, slashing you with his fingers. And you're like, well, that doesn't matter. What does that? Well, Cyber has this poison in his fingers, and it makes you hallucinate.
So we're gonna die right there.
Right now, Wolverine is hallucinating all of this, trying to defeat Cyber, who's trying to defeat him. And for this boss battle, there is no damage. Like, he doesn't have HP.
Come back here.
So you have to throw him in this vat of ooze over here. But he can throw you in it, and that's instant death for you. So it's kind of finicky. And he can still hurt and do a lot of damage to you. So what I found is if you just do the spin dash jump, you can kind of do this loop like that.
Finally.
So that was the hardest level of the game.
Cyber is such a bugger.
Now we're on to Department H, the Order. They are responsible for a lot of things, including the manipulation and manifestation of Dark Phoenix and Jean Grey. And most importantly, one of their officers is Shinobi Shaw, and that's who we're on our way to fight after we're out of this little house maze. We're going to do this house maze, and then there's going to be like this little underground industrial maze, and then we're going to fight Shinobi Shaw. And then after that, we will be on to the last level, which is like an underground sewer network for leading to
not what I
first
wanted.
level fight as the boss. Quick and simple level. It's not too hard if you know where to go when the maze is like.
Exactly.
This level is kind of tricky.
Oh, thanks.
Just for the fact that there's a bunch of lasers, guys, and these buzzsaws everywhere, and the buzzsaws do a lot of damage. Here's one of those extra guys that we're going to go out of our way. This is safety right here. Safety, health, and safety life. And although this game is notoriously bad and difficult
Go
just
for the
because of its
dash
control
trick.
schemes and how everything is, I find it strangely addicting to speedrun this. It's like once I finished the single segment and then got that 25:48 yesterday, it's become extremely addicting.
Son of a...
Right here I'm trying to pull a Taz trick where you can kind of jump up onto that platform and then you can kind of jump into the corner of the other one, but I failed. So oh well.
Yeah, this game is for kids. Yeah, right.
There's another little thing in this game when you have platforms that are raising. For some reason, if you jump at a certain point, it'll kind of increase Logan's velocity and height. So he'll just kind of like do a quick jump up. You'll see right here. Woo!
Okay, or don't.
We kind of
do the
failed it,
thing you're
but
supposed to do.
that right there.
Oh.
Oh,
Way
no.
down. That's the best. This game is for Satan. Yeah, kind of. Oh, now we're just stuck in this eternal loop.
Yeah, we're stuck in a valley.
That's cool. That's cool, Wolverine.
So things like this could happen, but it still doesn't take away too much time. This is me just messing around now. Yeah, see, I'm even acknowledging it. Yeah, this is just...
There we go. Finally. Buttholes. That's cool. Yeah, drop down there. Save me the energy. I don't want this. I don't want this at all.
So I'm pretty much trying not to die here, so that's why I'm taking it slow. So I want to try and have as many lives as
Okay.
possible by the time I reach the final boss.
And we died.
And we
That
died.
was a dummy.
Oh well.
Should have did that in the beginning. Oh, thanks for just homing in right on me.
Ugh, out of that monstrosity.
Alright, I'll take that. Whatever, as long as we don't die.
Alright. So just these last little lasers, and then there's 2 enemies down here, and then we're done with this level. And then we're on to fight Shinobi Shaw. Oh, Shinobi Shaw.
Oh,
Split
nice.
wrong. So don't worry about that. Just focus on the timer again.
Messed up that split.
So this boss is really easy. You just kind of do this uppercut slash, which is the most powerful attack that Wolverine can do. Just kind of take him away, and see he's already at 13 health. Just gonna take him down. And that was Shinobi Shaw.
Oops.
And we are on to the last level of Wolverine, Adamantium Rage. For the Sega Genesis. And this is kind of an underground maze where you gotta throw a bunch of switches, deal with a bunch of enemies, and then just kind of make your way to the boss. It's pretty straightforward once you know what to do and where to go. If not, then you kind of are screwed and you're gonna lose a life to the timer. Because this maze can get confusing. Oh, the gator. That Gator is annoying. The reason why I can't use the 2548 is because he messed me up so much. I started screaming the F-bomb at him.
All right. Okay.
That guy is annoying. But he's not too bad. So we're going to have a mini boss coming up soon. I believe his name is Starscream or Star Screech or something like that. Screech. I'm just calling him Screech. He's got sunglasses and like this huge demonic demeanor. I don't know. Some early 90s, mid 90s Marvel comic stuff.
That seems like
there
a
we
way
go.
better strat than what that other part was.
All right. So now on to part 2 of the maze, which, like I said before, it's not that bad of a maze. If
I
you know
just
what
hit
you're
you with
doing.
like every powerful attack known to man, but don't die.
How'd he end up down there? I don't know how there's multiples of these people at all. There's supposed to be 1 or 2 people. Like actual characters from the comic.
Okay.
Oh, this part's annoying. Oh no. Oh, we're getting gator attacks too.
I hate
Luckily
this
we're out of
part
there
so
now.
much.
Run, Logan, run.
Oh, this part sucks too.
Oh, yeah, this is a tricky jump coming up because she can just push you back and it's annoying. Oh, no, 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 no. Yep. Oh, Logan, I'm so sorry.
Dude, stop eating my headphones. Can you stop? I'm in the middle of something.
What am I doing?
Oh, you broke them. That's awesome. My cat. Ugh.
Man, this part's annoying. Ah, there we go. We got it. Okay.
Okay.
So this switch over here, it's pretty simple. Alright, now we're on the last sewer section before we get to the boss. And there's going to be some health and 2 1-ups in this area. I'm going to try and get the one right here. And there it was, got it. Flip that switch, then we got this stuff over here. In the new strat, I just skip that, I forgo that, and I just go right over here. This guy is actually deceptively dangerous. Each of his attacks do 15 damage. But at the same time, he only takes
I
2
don't know what
hits
I
and
did.
then
I
he's
tried
dead.
to flip through him.
So if you see that extra guy over there, we're kind of like, yeah, coming for you. Thought I could make it up there. I don't know what I was thinking. So in this little puzzle, the puzzle is the 2 end switches. That's it. Do that, then you can go up. But first, before we get over there and down into the boss, we're going to go grab this life and health. We're going to make our way back. And they're generous enough to give you health all the way until you get 100 right there. Because this next section is the boss fight. And what they do before is send a bunch of soldiers at you. And it's annoying because they just relentlessly shoot. And they don't stop. And if you don't have 90 to 100, then the chance of you failing the boss is higher than not. Because I think this run I have 75 health and I beat him. Every other run, if I don't have 80 health or more, I always die. This one is lucky. So, but luckily, there's a little glitch you can pull in this section. It didn't work there, but if you have all of them to the right without even going to the left of the screen, then he won't spawn immediately. So you can kind of take a break and heal up. You'll see me do it at the end of this run. So here's the glitch. Just kind of sit right there. He won't spawn. And I think I'm just going to wait and chill until it's 75 HP. Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
So, yeah, that was pretty much Wolverine Adamantium Rage for the Sega Genesis. It took me a good year to finally do a single segment run of this with no save states, no passwords, no nothing, just all straight through from first level all the way to the last.
We haven't.
And the fact that this single segment was 31:32 makes me extremely proud. And the fact that I have gotten a new PB of 25:48 makes me even more proud, because that means that this run was
how long it takes him to
probably like the worst possible outcome, and the fact that it's still sub 32 is just wow.
You might have to try just now. We'll try it. Whatever.
So here's the final boss. If you kind of do that spin attack, you can kind of knock his little missile launcher off the top of his shoulder, which will stop all the missiles from coming to hit you. It's annoying when they do that.
Oh, we did it! We did it!
And that was it.
Woo!
The first single segment run of Wolverine
that is an
Adamantium
official
Rage
single segment
for the Sega
of this
Genesis.
game. Now I can make a leaderboard.
In 31 minutes and 32 seconds. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. This is Faust4712 submitting Wolverine Adamantium Rage for the Sega Genesis for AGDQ2020's Awful Block. Thank you. Have a great one.